What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the last week. If you enjoy the Scale News Update, hit the like button and let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, we've got a new version of the Hobbywing Axe system. The whole point of the FOC system is kind of to gauge when the motor slows down so that it can apply more power for you to try and smooth everything out. It does make the system fairly smooth, especially at slower speeds. This version is, like all new versions of things, supposed to be an improvement over the previous. The Axe systems do have some nice features built in, like Bluetooth connectivity. This one also adds real-time telemetry type data and data logging. Not sure how well that's going to work with the fact that it's Bluetooth, so you're always going to have to be within a certain range, but either way, we'll have to see once it finally comes out. With the Bluetooth programmability, also a lot of tuning options built into the ESC, very similar to other ESCs that we get to use with, either PC programmability or Bluetooth control card, things like that. This does still use the Axe's kind of proprietary style sensor plug, but the FOC motors and the FOC controllers pretty much have to go together. So it's not meant to be an ESC that's supposed to be widely used with others. It's just a package deal. You run this ESC and you run one of their motors. Hopefully this version improves on everything that a lot of people really enjoyed about the Axe system. In the past, it's not been one of my favorites, but with their improvements in this new R2 version, it's something I'm definitely looking forward to picking up, seeing how it feels compared to my experiences with them previously. Next, while doing my searching for news topics for the week, I ran across a new Usocony drift trike available in the United States. Now, I know this has been available previously, but I had never seen it in stock in the US until today. So this is just a fun drift trike. I built the tuk-tuk version of this. It was a fun thing to assemble. In this version, exact same thing with a different body. However, still feel like I need to pick it up. And again, it was an absolute blast to assemble and it's a lot of fun to drive. So highly suggest this one. If you're looking for kind of a quirky oddball RC, here is one I can suggest. Next for you no prep guys, AMA now has the Sky RC tire warmer setups in stock. Now this set comes with 4 tire warmers, like for 8 scale racing, but these are super popular for no prep racers. They'll run them on the rear tires, keep the rear wheel, tire foam, everything at a higher temp, so you don't have to do as long of a burnout. The guys who run them swear by them. You start seeing them more and more. So if you want to look all professional like, another thing to add to your toolbox. Another story I ran across on Facebook this week is that Beef Tubes is teasing some new drag wheels. These are a beadlock rear wheel and a glue-on front wheel. They've got a nice style. There's a 2-tone finish going on to those rear wheels. So I'm not sure if it's a mixed material with an aluminum face and possibly a polymer outer portion or what's going on, but no specific details were listed, including price or release date or construction style, anything like that. So we're just gonna have to wait and see final details on these, but it's another good looking option for you guys who are looking for a set of drag racing beadlocks. And for a final no prep story for this week, Proline released all of the info and photos on that Iroc Z28 Camaro, and it looks really good. I'm not even a huge fan of Irocs, but this body looks so good. I think the color options they picked for the photos, just everything that they did with this thing looks really good. They're killing it with the no prep bodies, tons of options, and so many of them are such solid options. Great job on that. But then they released this, and this is the SCX24 Power Wagon, and it's bad. Like, I'm not sure if it's just the paint job and that, like the window trim on it looks like fighter pilot goggles or bad clown makeup, and the paint job on it in I'm not sure if the body is as bad as it looks in photos. I feel like they definitely shouldn't have tried for the patina paint job look on such a small scale. I think that a lot of it was, I think they should have went with a normal paint job. Maybe paint it silver so those window trim decals blend. And I am being much more kind than the comments on the release. Yikes. Proline, if you're watching, repaint it. Just shoot a different color. Shoot a glossy color. Pretend like those photos didn't happen. paint a new color, make it match the other Power Wagon. It will look so much better. Just paint it again. But to not end on a downer on the Proline stories, they did also release some 2.2, 3.0 short course style sand paddles, or sand/snow paddles. These things look super aggressive. It's got kind of a cooler style than you see on a lot of normal paddle tires. This will probably be a targeted release specifically for the new Shreddy Life Megalodon body that they released a couple of weeks ago. I could see some refreshed slashes hitting the snow in a lot of places, beaches in some others, and having a lot of fun. And you can use the discount code Harley10 to save 10% on your Proline order, and I get a little bit of credit on the back side. So you'll find the links to those products as well as the rest of today's news topics in the description below. Next, we had a long-awaited release from Axial, and this was a straight axle conversion kit for the Axial SCX-10 III. Now, this was something that was maybe a little bit unexpected initially from me, and that was that they released the straight axle as a conversion kit to existing SCX-10 IIIs. And I was just surprised about that because this isn't an inexpensive kit, but the axles come fully assembled, complete axles hex to hex. So that's nice. You get all of the parts needed. Also included are longer shocks to try and make up the difference in the length of having no portals on the axles. And overall, it's a good looking kit, but it does mean that you already had to spend a good amount of money on an Axial SCX-10 III, either kit or RTR, and then spend a significant amount more to pick up this conversion kit if you want straight axles. Now, admittedly, portals are a buzzword that just are very popular right now. People like portals, and there's reasons and features that make them so popular. Granted, for people who enjoy the more scale style of a solid axle, then it does kind of leave that hole in the market. But did Axial think that those people who really want that scale style enough are the ones that are willing to pay the extra money to buy the conversion kit after buying the arguably more popular option to have portals? That's what makes it interesting. I would have thought that they would have released a new SCX-10 III RTR, including the straight axles instead of portals. Maybe not with a Jeep JL or Gladiator, but with a different body of some sort. I just thought that with the investment they put into these new molds for these axles, because they are completely new, that they would have wanted to recoup them more on a full vehicle rather than just this conversion kit. Now, this conversion kit may also be popular with custom builders because they can buy assembled offset pumpkin front axle, centered rear axle, all the parts in one box to start some sort of chassis build off of who knows what. You'll have to let us know below, are you the customer that they're after? Did you buy an Axial SCX-10 III and now you're willing to purchase these straight axles? Or did you not have an SCX-10 III yet, but seeing this, you're going to go buy one and then also go buy the axle kit? Are you going to then plan on swapping those on and selling the stock portals or keeping them for another build? What's your plan, or how do you feel the release of this product went? And then also new this week, Cross RC released a new AT4 EMO Series. I can already tell that this truck is just so misunderstood. This appears to be an almost all new release from Cross. To hit the bullet points is a forward mounted motor with selectable locking differentials, a 2-speed, it's got portal axles, and a Blazer Bronco-ish looking body. Now, the grille of the body, at least in some of the renderings, says Demon, although I don't believe that this is the Demon series anymore. At least it's not listed that way. It's just listed as the AT4 EMO Series. Now, the cable actuated locking differentials are similar to a TRX4, except that the cable actually enters in from the side of the front diff cover rather than from the back side of the axle. So it kind of hanging out there in the front or in the rear. Maybe a little bit more exposed than the other options. Now, underneath of the body, a lot of this looks very similar to a Red Cat Gen 8, including the style of front-mounted motor, transmission, and divorce transfer case with kind of the solid plastic link between the two instead of a drive shaft. The transfer case in general looks very similar to a Red Cat as well. The steering servo location is pushed all the way to the front, and the molded inner fender flares also very similar to the Red Cat. Now, what's not similar to the Red Cat is the price. This thing is listed at $430 for the RTR. So $130 more in general for a cross RC product, not a product that's necessarily seen as a premium product. It's now in the feature list, which is a little bit hard to understand because the translation is not 100% just nailed. It does appear that they've thought ahead and added the ability to put in an overdrive gear set. It's in stock form though, it doesn't appear that it has that. Now, if you're interested in the EMO, you can either pick it up in kit form for around 350 bucks. The RTRs are 430 and they come in 2 different color options. You can get them in Fallout Boy Blue or Orange You Glad to get to go to Hot Topic later. Now, contrary to some of the listings in the product video, you can see that the RTRs do come with clear windows, but no interior. And you also have hard molded plastic details like the grille and some details around the body as well. If you're interested in seeing more details, pictures, and some video of this, you can check the link in the description below. For our next story, the holiday seasons are here. You'll start seeing Black Friday and Cyber Monday listings everywhere. But last Wednesday during the live stream takeover with Matt from Scale Builders Guild and myself, we put together some Christmas lists of items in case you've got somebody in your life looking to shop for you. I put together 5 items under $100 and then 5 more grandiose ideas that maybe someone's looking to splurge. Now, I've linked to this list in the description below, so feel free to forward that list along to anybody who's looking to do some shopping for you. But my 5 items under $100, I think these are just items that if any of us got, you wouldn't be upset. First one is an Eco Power work stand for your bench. This is just a sweet deal. You can get this thing actually for $19.99 right now from A-Main. It's a swiveling stand. It's made out of aluminum. It's got a nice finish to it. It's on sale. Normally $27 now, $19.99. There is a limit to how many you can purchase, but this thing looks like a great deal. Definitely something I'm going to pick up myself as well. The next item on my list was the Losi shock oil set. This is just something that all of us go through. You can never have too much of it. Losi sells these shock oil sets in 2 different weight ranges. I actually prefer the higher weight ranges. With how I run normally, I kind of like to run thicker weight shock oils. So anywhere from 50 to 100 weight, you get this set. It's just nice to have in your toolbox for whenever you're building something. The next item I had was the Sky RC GPS analyzer. This is more specifically for you guys who are interested in no prep drag racing. You put it in there, it'll give you your 132 foot times, your mile per hour, your 6 foot times, a bunch of really interesting data. This is fun and I think would make a great gift because it's something that maybe you're not going to purchase for yourself, but you'd love to have. So that one, probably one of my top picks for under $100. The next one is a 6-inch digital caliper. If you don't have a digital caliper, definitely needs to be on your list. Makes a great item for stocking stuff or a quick gift for anybody who's looking to do a little bit of shopping for you. I use my digital calipers a countless number of times throughout a month. Nice to have on the list, something you don't always think about. And lastly, I put together a little soldering tools bundle. This isn't the actual soldering iron. There's a huge list of possible options for that. But this is like some accessories to go with for soldering. Some things that are just nice to have to make soldering a little bit less frustrating. Now, all 3 of these next tools are less than $100 combined. So first we have a set of helping hands. This isn't the helping hands like a lot of us have had for years and years. This has got more helping hands as well as a lighted magnifier and a nice aluminum base. Just a few more features than our typical version that we use. The next one is a Hyperion Multi-Soldering Jig. And this is to help you soldering battery connectors or bullet plugs, all kinds of different things. It's just nice to have something that will hold those items. I've got a version that I haven't been able to find anymore, but this is a good substitute, I feel, and something that is nice to have. It's something I use every time I'm soldering on a new battery connector. And the last item is just a very simple yet very effective soldering iron stand. If you don't have a soldering station style, then this is something that's super nice to have. It's got a place to hold your soldering iron as well as the wire brush container below it to kind of clean off your soldering tip. Great to have. This is one I use myself and one I can definitely recommend for the low price of about $9. Those are the items for under $100. If you go click on the link in the description below, it'll take you to the rest of my list for my items that I recommend that start just over $100 and go to significantly more. Next, we have a new series announcement. Matt from the Scale Builders Guild and myself are launching our new series tomorrow, Wednesday, and this is the RCPC. This is where we'll be taking the Tamiya 114th semi trucks and trailers and turning them into functional gaming / streaming computers. These things will be built to, on the outside initially at least, appear to be just regular Tamiya 114th scale tractor trailers. This will be a multi-part series, but not every week. So make sure to check that out, subscribe so that you don't miss when the next ones come out. And again, you'll be able to find those videos on both my channel here and Matt at the Scale Builders Guild. Also, scale news update for next week is questionable if I'm going to be able to get that done. We may have to take a week off for the holiday break, but we'll see how things go. But that's going to do it for the actual news stories for this week. For this week's question on the theme of Christmas gifts and lists, things like that, what do you have on your list? You dropping any hints? You looking for anything specific, or do you just know you're going to get socks, which is fine, and then you'll of course buy the gift that you ultimately want for yourself later? That'll do it for this week's Scale News Update. As always, I appreciate you guys joining us. Hit the like button if you enjoy these videos. Subscribe if you're not already. And hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.